All right.
Okay, cool.
Are we recording?
It says it at the top. We're good.
Perfect. All right. Excellent.
Okay,
Here
cool.
we go.
Okay. Hello.
Hello. Yes. Welcome to our first class.
I'm Shelby. I'm Mike's wife. I own Unbound Collective. It's a movement space in Newport Beach. And I was a student athlete in college. We both went to UCSB. I was a softball player. Mike was a runner.
Cross country, track and field. Yep.
And we just wanted to do this class because there's a lot going on right now in the world and a lot of change happening. And I know as an athlete, your outlet for maybe anxiety or just general health and well-being, you use sports and whatever that is, your activity, to help kind of channel that internal energy that you have kind of swimming around. And since everything's kind of being locked down, we thought we'd utilize Zoom for a way to get some of that energy out, and then also maybe learn some things about your body, learn about more of like the mind-body connection and how to perform better ultimately when sports do open up back up. That you will have been training maybe in a different way than you're used to. And if you're not an athlete, if you don't have a specific sport going on right now, but you just kind of want to move your body and have it be based in like good biomechanical movement, then hopefully this will be a good thing for you. We're going to plan on doing this for maybe 5 or 6 weeks, every Tuesday, Thursday, 1 o'clock. And if it goes great, we'll continue going. We might switch up the course to be for something else. We don't know. But this is all kind of an experiment. So we just appreciate you being here. And yeah.
Yeah, this is what we're trying to do is basically just create something for people to use as an outlet. I know a lot of people are either stuck at home or we're hoping to get back to business when it comes to sports or physical activity or anything. And this was just something we wanted to create for everyone to sort of just, as an outlet again for not just the physical, but also the mental wellness. A lot of this breathing techniques you can really utilize for calming yourself down. Outside of, you can use it sort of amp yourself up and increase your fitness, and you can also use it, we'll get more into that, and sort of down regulating yourself, and whether that be with any sort of anxiety, with, for, kids, adults, parents, all sorts of stuff. You really help you sort of control some of the emotional stuff in your life as well.
Yeah. Okay. So we're just going to break down very simple stuff with breathing. Breathing is very dynamic and complex. So we're just going to break this down really simply. Throughout this class, you guys will be moving and breathing. The main focus of this class will be breathing. And then as we go along in classes, we'll have like a different focus each time. But the breathing is going to be like the depth of everything. So athletes, any of you that are athletes, you probably utilize the breath to help you focus, to help you calm down, but also to help you become more efficient. So we're going to focus a lot on the breathing because it's central physically and literally and figuratively. It's central to what you're doing, kind of the beginning and the end. So we're going to talk about the anatomy, we'll talk about the mechanics, and we'll talk about the effects of breathing. So just very simple again. So this is Hank, and Hank is our little bare bones model of the body. We've got a diaphragm kind of pushed up in here with some deflated balls. So I'll show you guys the side view as well. So it's a 3-dimensional muscle. It's a muscle responsible not just for breathing and respiration, but also for posture. So this is a key area for performance if we're going to talk about anything like in the vertical capacity. So basically, this is the middle of your core container. Everything, and I'm going to show you on mic actually, here. Everything other than like your shoulders, this whole thing is your core container. So this whole thing is a container. So if you can think of just a container, like a cylinder, that's really where breathing should take place, is throughout a 3-dimensional shape. So the diaphragm is in the middle of that. So every time we take an inhale, the lungs fill up with air, and the diaphragm is going to move down. So the center of the diaphragm will move down, and the width of the rib cage will widen. Okay, so that's really essential because it creates more space inside the body. More space you have inside the body, usually you're going to have more function and more strength, more capacity for strength. So the diaphragm actually attaches onto the spine. So that's very important here as far as the postural aspect of it. The more stacked things are in the spine and the happier that integrity is, the better movement you're gonna have. And probably less injuries as well. So
that container, the idea of a container and sort of that visual, that's something we want you guys to sort of remember, because we'll reference that when we get to the movement part of this class. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah. So 3D, your lungs are three-dimensional. So they're actually, if you look at the rib cage, how high up it comes in the front, it kind of dives down over here in the back, on the sides, and then when you get to the back, it dives all the way down to here in the spine. So this is lower. The lungs start up higher in the front, and they're actually bigger in the back. So very important as far as the breathing goes, that we're actually conscious of your lungs being in your back body. It just provides a lot more space, and you probably have this experience once you get going. Okay, and then, so I talked a little bit about the mechanics of breathing. The inhale breath, as the lungs fill up, the rib cage is going to change shape. The whole body's going to change shape. As the lungs fill up, we'll just do this with our hands. Okay, so think of this like a three-dimensional dome-shaped diaphragm. So you guys are looking at it from there. On the inhale, as you inhale, the center of the diaphragm moves down and the edges spread out. And on the exhale, the middle lifts up and the edges come back in. So you're working vertically. Inhale, all the way down. That goes towards the floor. Exhale, feel the middle of the dome come up towards the crown of the head. Okay? Okay, cool. And then the effects of all of this, I've kind of just been layering that throughout this little intro talk, is that performance is going to go up essentially, because the more efficient you're breathing, the more efficient your movement's going to be. It's just a total domino effect. Your focus will be improved, utilizing the breath, having a conscious focus of your breathing will help you really kind of narrow into a clear focused place, internally and externally. And then also it helps your nervous system to regulate. So I know for me as an athlete, for Mike as an athlete, we tend to be more upregulated, which is more kind of wound up. And we kind of just, that's where we live and that's kind of life. But to really use the breath as a conscious regulator for bringing yourself back down is going to improve your recovery. Your recovery is improved, you're going to have less injury. You have less injury, you perform better. So it's going to continue. So even though we wrote 1, 2, 3 on here, like the anatomy, the mechanics, and the effects, it all kind of blends together as you start to have like the felt experience of it. So that's going to be my goal, is to give you guys a bunch of tools that helps you integrate some of this work consciously, and we'll go from there.
And I just want to reiterate some of the performance aspect. When we're talking about working on and focusing on our breath and actually doing breath exercises, especially for you athletes out there, cardio for a lot of sports is a big thing, especially for runners, swimmers, bikers, but even basketball players, football players, things like that. Doing cardio certainly helps. Obviously, it's going to help your cardio capacity, but really focusing on your breath is another way you can do it, where maybe you're injured and you're having a recovery, or you want to, there's only so much cardio you can do before you're going to start overdoing it. Breathing exercises is another way to not just increase your cardio and kind of you can even like start to sweat, and just by sitting there breathing, get your heart rate up just by breathing. But you can also increase your lung capacity. And you're working a lot of muscles inside of your chest. And then as far as the regulation, I really just wanted to hit home with that recovery aspect. If you can help down-regulate yourself, that's going to help your digestion, which is good for your nutrition, which is good for recovery, and it's going to help your sleep, which is huge for your recovery. So those are the two things. We have our workouts, which we tear ourselves down, and we have a recovery, the sleeping and eating, that's going to help kind of rebuild ourselves. So the breathing can really help with all aspects of that.
Cool.
Right.
So, and I just want to just kind of little caveat here is everything that we do, obviously you're doing this at home on your own, maybe outside. Anything that we do where your body's like not cool, don't do that. Just make sure that you're kind of tuning into that versus just what I say and what I'm cueing him to do in his body. Your body's different than my body, than his body, than everybody else's. So listening to the body is what we call it. It's just paying attention to what the cues that your body's giving you. So that's different than being uncomfortable because you're working. It's pain and discomfort are different, and being able to discern those two, I think, is kind of like the juice of it all. So getting uncomfortable and then trying to feel okay with getting uncomfortable is different than pushing through pain that is wrong. So make sure that you are actually paying attention to what's going on internally. Always modify if you need to. We'll give you guys modifications. Any balancing kind of stuff, if you need to hold on to a wall or a chair or a stick or whatever you need, we'll do just like some single leg modifications through this practice that we're going to do today. So just always know that you can modify if you've got props at home. We can kind of go through props on Thursday for our next class.
Sure.
Yeah. So are you guys ready to move? Or?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's go.
Great. I'm gonna move our little screen here.
Yep.
Move it around. I got that. Got it. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna have Mike start on his back. Sure. Mike's gonna start on his back. I just want to give you guys a little visual. You're all gonna start on your back, not just Mike. And this is a little spear, and I want you to think of the movement of the inhale breath like a spear, doing this, and then an exhale breath, doing that. Okay, so go ahead and go onto your back. Knees will be bent, feet will be flat on the floor. Cool. And you're just gonna take a breath. And then just feel the back of your body on the floor. I'm gonna lower this actually. And see if you can feel that space where the rib cage meets the ground. So the back of the lungs. Okay, and then as you inhale, see if you can meet the back of the lungs with your breath a little bit more. And take an inhale breath and an exhale breath. And then just take the chin and start to tuck it in just a little bit to lengthen the back of the head away from the tail. Put your hand, one hand on your rib cage and one hand on your belly. So we're gonna play with two different kinds of breathing here. Take an inhale into your top hand, into your rib cage. Hold the breath once you're full, pause, and then let it go through your mouth. And then once again, into the chest, feel the expansion happen. You can visualize that sphere expanding wider, wider, bigger, bigger into your hands. And then as you exhale, feel it get smaller. Now breathe into the bottom hand. As you inhale, breathe in through your nose. Try to pull the air into the hand. Just feel it expand. Pausing at the top, and then out through the mouth, exhale. Watch the hands fall back towards the floor as you exhale. And then again, inhale, breathe into the lower hand, into the belly. And as you exhale, let it go through the mouth. Awesome. Cool. So just feel the difference of that. The sensations of inhale through the chest, inhale through the belly. They're a little different. Okay? We're just going to add on here. So here we go with the movement. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Thumbs face the floor. Exhale, ground your heels. Good. And then just feel that movement of the rib cage. Inhale, feel that sphere expand, bigger, wider, more spacious in 3D. Pause. As you exhale, ground your heels. This time, lift your pelvis up. Good. See if you can keep the breath moving as you exhale. Good. Now, if you had a magic carpet under your hand, you're going to continue to breathe. If you had a magic floating carpet under your feet, would you be pushing it straight down or pushing it forward? Well, most of us would be pushing it forward. Mike's going to ground down into the floor and imagine like he was sliding that magic carpet back behind his hips. Good. Awesome. Good. Inhale, big chest breath. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, is going to drop the pelvis, arms come back down by the sides. Good. One more time. Inhale, arms come up, hips come up. Exhale, arms come down, hips come down. Notice the energy of the legs. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, drive the feet straight down. Inhale, reach up and overhead. Full breath, 3 deep breath. Exhale, drop the hips, drop the arms. Awesome. Good. Hug your knees in. And then just rock side to side. Again, feel the back of the rib cage. Try to breathe more spaciousness there. So if you had like wings, every time you inhale, those wings would fan out wide to the sides. Good, awesome. Then roll onto one side to come up. We'll come up to all fours. That's close enough. Okay, so with all fours, he's gonna place his hands down right underneath the shoulders. Knees are gonna be parked right underneath the hips. Just draw attention to the tops of your ankles and see if you can start to spread the toes and push the tops of the ankles straight down. So that's just a good strong anchor for your legs. And then the same thing with the hands. Press down into the hands and try to just feel this nice stable base. Take an inhale here with just what feels like neutral spine to you. Neutral. Good, exhale. Awesome, one more time. Inhale, make your whole core container bigger. The container gets bigger, wider, more spacious in 3D. Exhale, the container gets more narrow, but longer. Longer, longer, longer from the base to the crown. Beautiful, awesome. Turn it into a cat-cow. Lift the middle of the spine, drop the bottom and the top of the spine. Good. And then going the other way, drop the middle of the spine, lift the two end points up. Beautiful. And he's doing that with breath. So if you can time your breath with your movement, he'll breathe. It doesn't matter if you inhale or exhale. I would play with both. But it's just breathing and not holding the breath as you move. It's a functional movement. Beautiful. Cool. Awesome. Then go ahead and tuck your toes. So he's going to tuck the toes, and as he tucks the toes, he's going to really try to activate the legs. So try to really park the heels over the balls of the feet. And then imagine like you were going to pull, if you had like a strap, a band, an elastic band around your thighs, you would kind of pull the band apart in the middle. Take an inhale breath into the back body. And then as you exhale, hover the knees 2, 3, 4 inches off the floor. Beautiful. Keep pushing out into that band or pulling out into the band. Try to make that come from your butt. Good. Take an inhale breath. He's hovering here. He's working. And then as you exhale, the pelvis is going to lift up, but the heels are going to stay lifted, and the knees are going to continue to move out. So if you had flashlights at your kneecaps, those flashlights would beam just outside of the elbows. So as you're in your position, just outside of the elbows. Awesome. And he's just going to notice how much weight is in his arms versus his legs. Notice where your weight is, and see if you can move more weight back into the legs than pushing into the arms. Feel your pelvis pull you back. Awesome, good. Pelvis keeps sliding back. Think of a tail, like a happy tail on a dog. Good, awesome, he's working. Now try to keep this. Next exhale breath, lift your right leg an inch or two off the floor without losing that work of the left knee, that spotlight still facing towards the left outer elbow. Beautiful, set it down. Good, inhale with the left leg, or exhale, up to you. Good, exhale, set it down. Good, we'll do it one more time. So peek at your kneecaps. Make sure that your kneecaps aren't bowing in when you lift the leg up. Keep those kneecaps open and try to do it from the outer hips. Good, so he's gonna try that again. Right leg's gonna lift. Floating up, nice. Good, exhale, set it down. Next breath cycle, whatever it is, just move and breathe is the important part. Left leg's gonna lift. Awesome, good. Take an inhale breath, fill up the back body. And then as you exhale, like a string, we're attached to your tail. Pull it up and back behind you as you walk your hands back to meet your feet. Bending your knees the whole way. More bend as you get back there. Good, now ground your heels down. Feel the heels root down. And then take an inhale breath here. Try to breathe into the back body. Beautiful, and as you exhale, bend your knees a little more. Push down through your heels, start to roll your spine up. So roll, try to do one vertebrae at a time from the lower half of the body all the way to the mid body, all the way to the upper body. Awesome. Okay, and then we'll go to Tadasana. Tadasana is just a blueprint pose in yoga. It's called mountain pose, translated as mountain pose. It's basically just a good upright posture. So best as you can, get into that space of a good upright posture. I want you to feel the weight of the head. Imagine like it were a big ball. You're going to balance the big ball on top of the rib cage, the middle of the rib cage, and the middle of the pelvis. Yeah. I'll go sideways. He's gonna show you sideways. Okay, and then focus on the weight between the ball of the foot and the heel. Try to even that out front to back, and then do it side to side, right to left foot. Get equally weighted. And then when you're ready, inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, keep your rib cage lifted as you drop your arms back down. Good. Inhale, raise your arms. Feel the breath in 3-dimensional space. Exhale, drop the arms, keep the rib cage lifted. Good, awesome, one more time. Inhale. He's using his legs, good. Exhale, arms float down, rib cage lifts up in 3D. Awesome. Hands to your hips, sit into like a little squat. Awesome. Are you okay with there in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So sit into a little squat, get sensitized to that feeling of pushing out into the knees again. Have it come from the hips, just like you did in down dog. Take an inhale breath, steady gaze forward, and then exhale, step 1 foot back. He's gonna move. Cool. Now the back foot, try to drive the back heel up off the floor as the back knee bends. He's gonna try to level his pelvis across the horizon. And then just take your hands and cross them over your chest. So they're not working too hard. Take an inhale breath into the back body. And as you exhale, can you get taller through the spine? Feel it lift, lift, lift through the sky. Remember what that diaphragm does, lifts towards the crown of the head. Inhale, make yourself wider in space, wider in space, wider in space. Feel the ground under your feet. And as you exhale, drive the legs up to make the spine longer. Lots of power in the legs. Awesome, good. He's gonna keep that and then inhale and tip himself forward. Try not to lose the weight in the back leg. Good, awesome. Next breath, come back up. And shifting forward. So try to keep the pelvis, same thing. Nope, just the tip. Yeah, he's doing a little hip hinge there. Just being really mindful that that left knee, that front knee isn't collapsing in. Good, and coming back up, utilizing the breath for that. Back heel stays high, back knee stays bent. Good, hinging forward. Move your tail back to the wall behind you. Beautiful, good. Drive through the feet, come back up, inhale. Last one, exhale. Hinge forward, long spine. Feel the rib cage lift away from the pelvis. Awesome, good. Take an inhale here in that shape. And then exhale and step forward. Awesome, good. Come to Tadasana, your blueprint pose, neutral spine. Take an inhale breath and just feel the energy, the quality of the sweat maybe building. Yes? Okay, hands to the hips, take an inhale. Sit into a little squat pose, same thing. Weight equal, right to left and front to back. And then when you're ready, you'll step your left foot back or your other foot back if you didn't do your left foot forward the first time. Awesome. Feel your back heel drive up. Awesome. And then try to distribute the weight even here. Even as the back heel's up, make it equal front to back. Good. Yeah, there you go. Inhale, raise your arms up. And exhale this time, hands by your sides to tip yourself forward. Inhale, arms up, watching that front knee is a spotlight, shooting either straight ahead or slightly out to the side. Exhale, right. Tipping forward, good. Spine's getting longer from the energy of the back leg. Inhale, coming up. Feel the 3-dimensional breath of the ribs, expanding, beautiful, good. Powerful, powerful legs. Exhale. Feel the ribs lift away from the floor, snuggling into the body. Good, awesome. One more time. Inhale, reach up and back. Reach, reach, reach. Good. And exhale, shifting forward. Strong legs, stay anchored. Beautiful. Staying there for a breath. Stay hinged forward. Feel like your front hip is really buoyant, like a buoy. Try to get more buoyant in that front hip. And then on your next exhale breath, float your back foot forward. Yep, step. Chair pose. Good. Tadasana. This is fun. Okay. Okay. Step your, what did you just have? Your right foot?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all right.
Okay. Step your other foot back. This time you're gonna turn the foot down, like a warrior 1 foot. And take a big step back with that right foot. Good, and then just peek at your left knee. Can you let your left knee steer in the same direction as your middle 3 toes? And try to keep that. Yeah? Take an inhale breath, reach your arms up. Good, and we're just gonna stay in this posture for a moment. Exhale, try to get taller, longer through the spine. Beautiful. Push down through your back foot to make your spine go up towards the sky. Awesome, good. And then hands come back by your pelvis. Just let the hands rest on the hips. And then go ahead and tip yourself forward. Try not to lose the weight in your back leg. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, go ahead and coil yourself into like a cat back. So lift the middle of the spine, drop the 2 end points. Good, push down through the back foot. Beautiful, good. One more breath, inhale, fill up the back body. And as you exhale, push the back foot down to roll yourself up. So good, awesome. Hands are gonna stay at the hips. Slowly, inhale, pivot your back heel up, where you already were, and then exhale, float your back foot forward. Awesome. Inhale. Exhale, hands to your sides. Step back with your left foot. Warrior 1 is what we call this one. Good. Peek at your front knee. See if you can get that to track in line with the middle 3 toes. And then your back foot's rooting down into the floor. Straight down, not sliding back. You're pushing straight down with the back foot. That gives you a lot of power, yeah? Awesome. And then when you're ready, arms are gonna float up. And chest will kind of be facing the same direction as the pelvis. So turn your chest towards me. Yep, good. Awesome. Inhale, fill your back body. Remember the lungs are bigger back there. Fill it up. And as you exhale, power through your back foot to drive your chest up. Or pull rib cage up. Lift, 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 lift. Awesome, good. Inhale, 3-dimensional shape change. And exhale, keep the rib cage lifted as you exhale. Nice job, there's the legs, hello, good. Hands back by your hips or on your hips, wherever they're comfortable. Next exhale breath, you're gonna roll yourself forward. Good, and just feel how the back leg will wanna lose all its weight. Can you continue to bring yourself forward and down like a cat shape in your back without losing the weight of your back foot? So try to still keep 50-50. Very interesting what happens there when you do that, lots of work. Awesome, one more breath here, inhale. Rooting the back foot. Exhale, roll yourself up with the power of your back foot, like a little slingshot. Awesome, steady gaze out in front of you. Take an inhale breath, pivot your back heel up. And then exhale, step forward. Awesome. Now chair pose. Exhale, Tadasana. Good, inhale, chair pose. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, chair pose. Sit back into the hips. Exhale, Tadasana. One more. Inhale, sit back and down into the hips. Exhale, forward fold. So you're gonna fold over your legs. Beautiful. I'm just gonna move this slightly closer. Okay. Cool. So go ahead and bend your knees. Step your right foot back and place your hands on the floor. If you need hands on blocks, you're going to bend your knees a lot to do that. Yep, take an inhale breath. If you need blocks, good modification here. Not that you all have blocks at home, but if you do, use them. Or you can do some books or something to just elevate yourself. Take an inhale. Then as you exhale, step your other foot back to meet it. Now we're in plank. Plank is Tadasana, like a neutral spine, except now you're holding yourself up with your arms. Okay, make a little bit more energy through the feet. So see if you can drive the heels up again, just like you did before. Awesome, good. Take a breath. And as you exhale, bend your knees, slide the hips back towards down dog. Knees are bent with down dog. We're gonna keep the heels high and put more weight in the pelvis than in the arms. Good, awesome. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, set it down. Strong hips to do this. Inhale, lift your left leg. And exhale, float the foot back down. Good, one more time. Inhale, lift the right leg. And exhale, set it down. Inhale, lift the left leg, float it up. Feel the 3D shape change in the body. Exhale, float it down. Beautiful. Bend your knees, look towards your hands. Start to walk your feet towards your hands, and as you do, can you keep lifting your tail up? Lift your tail up, bend your knees. Awesome, good. Once you get as far as you can get, you drop your heels, bend your knees, sit into chair pose. Arms just reach out in front of you, go really wide. So you feel like there's all this, the big container for the breath. Good. Now imagine like the legs want to stand you up and the pelvis wants to sit you down, and see if in your mind's eye you can create that. Legs want to stand you up and the pelvis is like, no, 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 we're going to sit down. Make that equal and continue to breathe. Should feel a little work in the legs, eh? And then from there, can you grow your spine longer through a tube? So using the breath, drive more rooting through the feet and more lift through the crown of the head. So good, awesome. One more, keep working. And then exhale, Tadasana, hands to your hips. Steady gaze out in front of you. Big step back with your right foot, high lunge. Good, he's gonna drive the back heel up over the ball of the foot as much as he can. Good, and then just feel, if you had a spotlight coming out just below your belly button, the spotlight of just below the belly button and the chest will be beaming in the same direction. Awesome. Great. Inhale, reach your arms up. Big reach of those arms. And as you exhale, hands come back by your side. Tail goes back like you're in a plank from the back leg to the crown of the head. Good. Inhale, come back up. Drive through the feet. Reaching the rib cage up, the whole rib cage. Exhale, keep the rib cage lifted. Keep the rib cage going towards the crown of the head even as you tilt yourself forward. Awesome. And again, inhale, last time, reach up. Whole rib cage, the sides lift up, the back lifts up just as much as the front. Keep the ribs up, exhale. Tilt yourself forward, arms float back down. Awesome, good. Inhale, come back up, neutral. And then stay in this shape as you just drop the arms down. Exhale to lift the chest up higher. Awesome, keep the chest lifted as you step your back foot forward. Awesome, hands to your hips, take an inhale, sit into a little chair. Good. Take your left foot back when you're ready. Try to use your breath rather than holding your breath. Use your breath for keeping focus and keeping you in the body. Good. Back heel is going to drive up as much as you can over the ball of the foot. The back knee will be bent. Good. And then try to power both feet into the ground to lift the spine. Reach up. Inhale. Exhale, tip yourself forward. So same thing. The spotlight of the pelvis and the chest are facing the same direction. Good. Inhale, drive up, use the legs, back knee bends, heel drives up. Awesome. Exhale, hinging forward. Heart reaches forward away from the back leg. Beautiful. Good. One more. Inhale, reach up. The whole rib cage lifts up. The whole rib cage lifts up. Awesome. Exhale. Keep the chest reaching forward away from the pelvis. Beautiful. We'll come up last time. Inhale. I'm just going to change it up here a little. Keep this shape of upright. Exhale, keep the rib cage lifted as you exhale. Let the arms float back down. Good. One more time, just keep the arms down. Inhale, lift the whole three-dimensional rib cage up. Keep the chest lifted as you exhale. Plug the feet in. Awesome. Good. Take an inhale breath and an exhale to float the back foot forward. Awesome. Tadasana. Legs working, yes? Okay, last little bit here and then we'll come to the ground. Okay, right leg, is that what you just did? Yeah. Oh, he's gonna give you guys a modification. So this is what I was talking about in the beginning. If you need a chair or a wall, or if you have a random stick around your house.
Broomstick, something.
Yeah, broomstick. Use that for just kind of helping you to steer. So it's going to be an extra steer because you're basically going to be balancing on one foot and then we're transitioning back and up respectively. So
This based on this way.
okay. Okay. We're just figuring the Zoom thing out. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it works out for everybody. Okay. So we're going to start with, which foot did you have forward last time?
No, left. We always start with left, right, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's gonna step his right foot back. Steps the right foot back. As he steps back, he's just gonna, let's put the left hand on your left butt, because I want you to feel that connection of your left butt. Try to sit into your left hand more, without dropping into the back leg. So you're gonna do that same thing of inhale, shift yourself forward. And as you exhale, just imagine like you were gonna lift your back foot an inch or two off the floor. You can imagine it and then maybe actually do it. Good. And then whatever you're holding on to, make sure it's not like a death grip. Make sure you're just kind of like lightly having it help you balance. Good. Awesome. And that's working for him. Cool. So reach through your back heel. Right heel reaches away from the chest. Take an inhale breath. And then exhale, drive through the left heel. Float the right knee up. Good. Inhale, kick the right heel back. Sit the left butt back. So he's bending his left knee. And then as you exhale, drive up, drive through the floor, knee floats up. Good. Inhale, floats it back, reaches the heel back to sit the left hip back. And then exhale, drive through the left foot to stand up tall. Good. One more time. Inhale, kick back. Nice. Good. Power through the legs. Exhale to drive the length of the spine up. Very nice. Awesome. Set the foot down and switch sides. We're gonna do it without a stick on this one.
Yeah.
And we're gonna give you guys a different view. Okay, so he's gonna step his right foot back, you too. Right foot steps back, I'm sorry, left foot steps back. Okay, left foot steps back, prep just like you did before. And you ready? Tilt yourself forward. Always utilizing the breath as your driver. That inner space is what's driving the movement. Good, awesome. And hands crossed around your chest, kind of gets the shoulders out of the way so they don't pick up towards your ears. Okay, here we go. Inhale. Nice long breath down into the feet. And as you exhale, come forward, float your foot first. Get the balance steady. Get your gaze steady. Look at something 1 foot, 2 feet out in front of you. And then when you're ready, drive through your standing leg to float your left heel up. Left knee and heel. Good. Inhale, sit back into your right hip. Draw the left heel back. Good. Exhale. Drive through your right heel. Yeah, beautiful. Good. Inhale, feel 3-dimensional shape change happen in your rib cage. Exhale, drive through the floor, float the left knee up. And if you have to catch yourself with the balance and set the foot down, totally cool. You'll still be doing the work, I'm pretty sure. Good, one more time. Inhale, sit back. Longer through the spine, more fullness through the rib cage. Keep the fullness of the rib cage as you exhale. Ready to sweep it through last time. Rib cage slides up towards the sky as you exhale. Awesome. Good. And then set the foot down. Good. Okay, let's take the feet wide. Reach your arms up. Big inhale breath. There you go. And then exhale. Keep your rib cage lifted as you exhale. Drop your arms down by your sides. And again, inhale, lift the rib cage up, make it wider, wider, wider. Good, keep that width as you exhale. Keep lifting the rib cage up like a helium balloon floating towards the sky. Good, last time. Inhale, so the expansion, wider, wider, wider. Good, pause, root your feet, and then exhale as you lift the rib cage up. Float it up like a helium balloon. Awesome, good, hands to your hips, take an inhale. Fill up your back body, breathe into the back of the lungs. And as you exhale, bend your knees and fold yourself towards the floor. Good. The more bend in your knees, the more honest this is gonna be. So instead of slamming your knees backwards, try to keep a soft bend in your knees. If it's helpful, Mike's using blocks, you can use that to modify. Okay, but you're gonna try to, again, keep the weight equally distributed between the front of the foot and the heel. Keep it equal. Take an inhale breath. And then as you exhale, let everything go, drop the head. Awesome. Take an inhale breath in this shape. Try to breathe more into the back body. And as you exhale, can you feel the spine get longer, actively reaching towards the floor? So you're actually bringing the rib cage further, closer to the floor, further away from the hips. Last one. Good. Exhale. He's gonna let his brain get heavy, but the rib cage actively reaching towards the floor. Awesome. Good. Awesome. Hands to your hips. Take an inhale. Bend the knees a lot. Exhale. Lengthen the crown of the head to come up. Use the hips. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Good. All the way. Straight legs. Hello. Working? Okay, cool. Okay, let's bring it onto the ground.
Woo.
Yeah. Okay. Moving slowly kicks your butt more than moving quickly, usually, right? All right. Okay, so on your back, the knees will be bent to start. And from how we were talking about with the rib cage, from the bottom edges of the rib cage to the top of the pelvis, the top of the hips, so these two like bony areas, you kind of palpate on yourself, the lower ribs and the top of the hip. So you just kind of create this little square. So between these points, fingertips on, take an inhale breath, and not just into this square, but also if you could create another square into your back, those two would be together. Does that make sense? Good. So breathe just as much into the back square as you are into the front square. Yeah. And as you exhale, feel it get smaller in space, closer together. Good. Keep some of that. Take a little sip of air in through your inhale breath. Take it into the chest. Good. And then imagine like you were gonna cough. And you're gonna hold your breath like that. Feel your core turn on when you do that. You're just gonna play around with that a couple more times before we do the exercise. It's part of the exercise. Yeah? Cool. So it's as if you're gonna cough. You can actually try and cough and push something out, but it's just to make you feel like this pressure turns on internally to support your container. Okay, when you're ready, take an inhale breath, and then your little cough muscles are gonna be engaged. You're just gonna let the feet float up to a 90-degree bend. Good, and we're gonna keep the feet active, so flex through the feet. Good. And then ever so slightly, you can keep your hands on your belly if that's helpful for cueing. Keep your square, so the square doesn't change its shape. And then very slowly, when you're ready, to start to bring one heel towards the floor. And if you go towards the floor and you don't make it, but things wanna start changing up here, then you've gone plenty far. Okay, come back up and switch. Good. He's breathing into his back, I think. Good, and tapping the heels down. Good, nice and slow. The heel comes towards the floor on one breath, and it comes back up on the next breath. Good, 2 more. Down. Last one. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay, set the feet down. Take a breath. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna just work on kind of the down regulation aspect. I think we'll do one more set of core because we have time, and then we'll do some down regulating. So basically just different techniques that you can use to help kind of like bring this up regulated, like that working kind of energy, bring it down to a restful kind of energy. Okay, so let's do one more set of core. And if you're comfortable, so you can do that same exact thing that you just did, I'm gonna have him add the arms on. So we just add on more levers, but we're still trying to stabilize that, the triangle or the square. Okay, take an inhale breath into your back. So think the core container, just to give you guys a visual, core container is doing this as you inhale. And then as you exhale, instead of emptying all the way out, just keep this kind of internal pressure so you're stable. Yeah, good. So little sips of air, not gripping the jaw, trying to relax the jaw. Good. Then go ahead, and I'm gonna have him add the arms on. Left leg comes down, right arm goes overhead. Good. And just sense like that square doesn't change shape. Good, and switch. Good. Right knee towards the floor, left arm overhead. Gonna maintain the ribs. Good, come back up. tapping that left foot down, the right arm goes towards the floor, but doesn't have to touch it at all. Good, and then he's using this container to pull the leg and the arm back to center. Good, and if you feel any of this in your back, you're probably taking the leg too low. So just make sure that the back bottom ribs stay anchored to the floor, and maybe the leg that you're pedaling with won't go so close to the floor. Just modify it as much as you need to. Good. Awesome. 2 more, eh? Your own pace with your breath. Beautiful, good. Last one. Beautiful. And then gently set the feet down. And sighing it out is very helpful. Take your arms wide across the floor, like more space than you're used to taking up. And then rock your knees to the right. Try to keep your left rib cage down on the floor. As you inhale, can you breathe more into that left rib cage, more into the left side of the lung, more underneath the left armpit? Good. As you exhale, can you anchor more of that rib cage to the floor? Good. One more time. Inhale, fill up, make that filling up like that sphere that we were looking at. Then as you exhale, feel it get smaller, but the ribs become more anchored. Good. And then nice and slow, come back to center. Next breath to take you over to the other side. Knees will rock to the left. Right rib cage, right shoulder. You're going to attempt to keep that anchored to the floor as well. So there will be some movement, especially if you've got breath going in that right lung. Focus there. Good. Softening the tongue, the jaw, the face. Inhale, breathe into the right rib cage, right lung space. Beautiful. And as you exhale, feel the whole rib cage get closer to the floor, anchoring you down. Beautiful. Last one. Inhale, fill up, 3-dimensional shape change. And as you exhale, rib cage gets heavy, knees get heavy. Awesome. Release that. Come back to center. Good. And then just a couple more times on your own without such focus to the breath. Just let the breath kind of come along for the ride. Rock the knees to the right. And come back, rock the knees to the left. It's a little more freedom in the movement. Not trying to micromanage. Awesome. You're just breathing and moving, breathing and moving. Good, awesome. And then go ahead and hug your knees in. And let your hands just rest on your kneecaps, like so. And your fingertips will just face your toes. Okay, the tops of the feet will be soft and relaxed, so like they're heavy. Good. And then go ahead and when you inhale, breathe in through the nose. Let the belly fill this time. Let the knees move away from your chest. Good. Exhale, belly empties, knees melt towards the chest. Inhale, breath flows in, knees float away. Exhale, knees float in as the belly empties. Inhale, breathe deep into the width of the belly, into the width of the back body. And then as you exhale, knees melt in, belly softens. Good. Last 2. Inhale, knees float away. And exhale, knees float in. Awesome. And then go ahead and set your feet down. And then just like we started, notice the spine on the floor. It's contact onto the floor. Hands are going to be placed, one hand on the rib cage, one hand on the belly. And then this time, instead of breathing into one and then the other, see if you can breathe into both hands at the same time. And as you exhale, let it go through the mouth. Take an inhale into both hands. Try to feel the imprint of both hands on your inhale. And as you exhale, let the breath move away from the imprint of the hands. And once again, let the breath meet the hands through your body. And as you exhale, let the hands sink closer to the floor as the breath leaves the body. Awesome. Okay, and we're just gonna do a little breath count just to kind of keep you present and in the zone. We're gonna play with the length of the exhale. If at any moment you don't feel comfortable with that, or it's, producing anxiety, just go to a normal breath, or don't even worry about the breath. Okay, eyes closed or open. I prefer eyes closed. Mike got his eyes closed, but you can totally keep your eyes open. But just try to keep if you do that, keep your gaze steady on something, on the ceiling or sky or wherever you are. Okay, go and exhale everything out. Pause. Inhale through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Try to soften. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Try to soften. And then exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing. Try to relax internally. Relax everything internally, even as you flow. And then as you exhale, exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Try to soften. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Last time. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing. Try to soften and relax in that space. And then exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing. Try to relax in that space. You're empty. Good. And then let the body open up to the next breath. Just a natural inhale through the nose. A natural exhale out through the mouth or the nose. One more. Just natural full inhale wherever you are. 3-dimensional space. And then as you exhale, feel that 3-dimensional space get smaller. Awesome. And then go ahead and just wiggle your toes. Hug your knees in. And just give yourself a hug, rock yourself side to side like you did in the beginning. And just try to breathe a little bit more tension into the back body. So not forceful, just really gentle. Now that we've kind of cooled it down. Gentle awareness of the back body. And how big the lungs are back there. Okay. And then nice and slow, you'll roll onto your side. Take a breath there. Good. And then push yourself up to a seated position. Legs crossed or whatever is comfortable. Okay. That's it. Cool.
Awesome.
Cool. And you guys can let us know if you have any questions or anything like that. You can message Mike or me. And this will be recorded.
This will be recorded, yeah. So if you guys want this recording, you can email me at mikepowerscoach@gmail.com, or you can just DM me on my Twitter account. You can search it Mike_Coach_Mpowers, or Coach_Mpowers, both Instagram and Twitter the same. Yeah.
Cool. And we'll be doing this again this Thursday.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll send out some invites for that.
And the suggested donation was $10 to $20. And if you guys want to Venmo, if you already know Shelby's, you can feel free to Venmo Shelby, or you can Venmo me. Mine's Mike-Powers-5. And yeah, $10 to $20. We appreciate everything and anything you guys can help us out.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. See you Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.